That's what you gonna do?
Go to anything. Run to my grave, man.
You gonna do what?
I called you the squat, but you want to talk sideways up your
Say you gonna do what to my son? You say you gonna
your family. I warned you today. I said, yo, sit next to me real quick, and I'm gonna squash your thing. You didn't text me, just pick up my call, man. It's the game, man. It's not a movie, man.
In July 2018, after not answering calls and messages, Samantha's brother called round to her house in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Upon entering her apartment, he's met with a gruesome discovery. Let's get into the story of Samantha Stewart. In November 2017, Zenaya Barney downloaded the popular dating app Plenty of Fish. When Zenaya wasn't busy with her son, she would speak to a guy she connected with, 27-year-old Daniel. At first she wasn't interested, but Daniel was persistent and messaged her often, and so a friendship started.
He hit me up for like 2 days straight, didn't pay it any mind, then I finally replied, and from there our conversations went every day.
The pair would find themselves talking all day, every day, and their friendship would quickly blossom into a relationship. Zenaya found Daniel to be a perfect guy, and it wouldn't be long before the pair spent every day together. Everything was going well for the couple, who had been dating for around 6 months by now. But it would all come to an end when Daniel got himself caught in a lie. Whilst the pair were driving, Daniel's phone started ringing, and Zenaya accepted the call. Another woman was on the other end of the call, asking for Daniel.
And I was just like, oh, how did you meet him? She said, oh, through the app. I said, Plenty of Fish. She said, yes. And I was like, okay, but did he mention to you, he has a girlfriend? She was like, oh no, he didn't mention that at all.
This infuriated Zenaya, so she kicked Daniel out of the car and broke up with him. After this, it was a downhill spiral, as Daniel wouldn't leave Zenaya alone. He would bombard her with texts and calls every day, and show up outside her house and stand there for a long period of time. He would even spend the night sleeping outside her house and would try to break in.
He placed a ladder clean through my window because I wouldn't let him in my house.
If she didn't answer, he would call and threaten her and her son, who by now he had met.
I kidnapped that.
That's what you gonna do?
Go to anything. Run to my grave, man.
You gonna do what?
Eventually, Zenaya reluctantly gave in and agreed to meet Daniel, as he told her he was going to California and wanted to see her before he went. They met up in Chipotle and had dinner together. After dinner, Daniel asked Zenaya if she would drop him off at a park nearby.
I actually pull up exactly right here. That's when he proceeded to sit here and say, are we still going to be together? Are we still going to be back together? And I said no.
After refusing to get back with him, Daniel attacked Zenaya.
And that's when he just looked at me in the car and then jumped across, had both of his knees on top of my knees while my seatbelt was still on. And he got 2 of his hands stuck, his whole thumb in my throat, and that's why I still have the mark to this day.
At some point, did you think this is it?
When he was choking me, I can't even describe the feeling. That's when I kept feeling like this is it. I just kept thinking about my son. I have to live for my son. I have to get out. I got out, fell like this on the floor, and as I looked up, I seen 3 men come out the parking lot.
The men called the police, but Daniel has already got away. Days later, he was finally arrested and charged. This wasn't the first time Daniel had been arrested and charged with strangulation. He had already served 4 years in prison for previous offences. The judge claims that he didn't know about Daniel's past, as it was in Connecticut, which isn't that far away from New York. Prosecutors asked for his bail to be set at $7,300, but the judge set the bail for $2,000. It wouldn't be long before Daniel was back up on dating apps, looking for more women to meet up with. 12 days after being released, he was swiping left and right on Tinder and was matched with a young woman from Queens. She was 29-year-old Samantha Stewart, a nurse from Springfield Gardens. The pair went on a date to a pizza place, and eventually, after a nice evening together, Samantha invited Daniel back to her house. Not long after arriving home, Daniel would attack Samantha and horrifically strangle her. After ending an innocent woman's life, he then stole her credit card and then purchased a ticket to Los Angeles. After no contact with Samantha, her family had started to get worried, and her brother went round to discover her wrapped in a blanket on her bedroom floor. He immediately called the police, and it wouldn't take them long to figure out that her credit card had been used in California. Daniel was now wanted, and a fugitive task force had managed to track him down in a hotel in North Hollywood. They would never imagine the chilling discovery they would find upon entering the room. Another young lady was being held hostage in the hotel room and was found in the bathroom. She had met Daniel on Tinder and had been held captive for 3 days. Daniel actually thought that she was dead, but fortunately she had survived his attack. He was arrested and charged. He tried to claim that he was hearing voices in his head which told him to commit these horrendous crimes. In custody, Daniel admitted to detectives that he was responsible for at least 7 murders, but the police are still investigating his claims. He was arraigned in Queens Supreme Court on an 18-count indictment after being extradited from Los Angeles to face multiple charges. He faces up to 25 years to life in prison if he's convicted. Samantha's family deserve justice and will hopefully see this man behind bars. A man who played a charmer online but was in fact a predator. We pray her family find peace and healing. Our thoughts are with the family and friends of Samantha, a lovely young woman by all accounts with a caring and nurturing side. Our thoughts are also with other victims who managed to survive his horrific attacks. We also hope they heal and have had the appropriate help to get them through it. Rest in peace, Samantha Stewart. Before I end this video, I'd like to briefly discuss online dating. There are many horror stories of online dating, and while some people are fearful of using apps such as Tinder and Plenty of Fish, there are lots of people who do. My advice would be to only visit public places and to never go back to their house. Also, you can do a reverse image search on their picture to check they are who they say they are. You can also research them online. Also, always tell someone where you're going and ask for them to phone to see if you're okay. I hope you all stay safe. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, subscribe and stick around. And as always, take care.